Hello everybody. Today I am going to show you a WD hard disk 2 TB which has difficulty in getting detection and opening files. I am attaching it to the PC on USB 3 and let's see whether it gets detected or no. It is detected as a drive with a letter F on it, but it may not open. See, it is hanging my system, and if I try to open D, I can open D. Now let's do it again. This is the letter F and it is not opening. So now let us do one thing. Let us attach it to the stabilizer. Let us attach it to the stabilizer and see whether it opens up or no. Let me open the stabilizer, USB stabilizer, and keep it ready. It is there, it is found on the system. Now I will remove the hard disk from the USB port and attach it to the stabilizer to see whether it gets detected or no. I have attached it to the stabilizer. The stabilizer has detected the hard disk. It is trying to initialize the capacity. It has initialized the capacity. It has detected as WD elements and it is showing that it has become ready to receive commands. Now what I shall do is I shall go into Sentinel. Now you can see that the hard disk has got detected. Let us see whether it has got detected in HDD Sentinel or no. It has got detected as WD elements 1023931.5 GB with the help of DSPAR stabilizer. So good, the hard disk has got detected. Now I can use RStudio or I can use Rapid Spar or I can use even MRT, DFL, PC3000 to see my data or any other software. I will show you the same hard disk on Dolphin or MRT or PC3000 as to how we can repair this drive's firmware. Firmware of this drive can be repaired on DFL, MRT and PC3000. Please remember this. As for that, I will not have to change it to a USB PCB to a SATA PCB. I will continue with the USB PCB and do a firmware repairing. This is the advantage of stabilizer, that it can repair firmware directly if the drive is having a reasonably good condition or has very less bad sectors but are causing the drive to go slow. So now first of all, let us see whether this drive gets detected in a simple software, a very old software about 12, 13 years old software. Let us see whether it gets detected into that software or not. We will click on find more partitions and we got 931 GB and we click on start. We got a main partition, we will click on it and yes, it is loading the folders and at the same time it is detecting the file and folders and loading the file and folders. So you can see that a 10-year-old software is also opening very well with the help of stabilizer. This is the biggest advantage of USB stabilizer, that the professional version opens up with any software and any hardware. However, the normal USB stabilizer opens up in RStudio only. So RStudio helps in opening a hard disk with the help of USB stabilizer, and that version of USB stabilizer is ordinary version of USB stabilizer but not a professional version. Now as you can see, most of the folders have opened up. You can see the folder loading is totally complete. Let us now open some pictures and see whether the pictures are opening as a preview or no. Yes, it opened up. See, you can see. Yes, it opened up. You can see. So pictures are opening up very well. So this software is quite good for data recovery with the help of USB stabilizer and helps in the recovery of a WD hard disk. Now I shall close this software and show you some other software which can help you in data recovery. Let us load now a very old software, maybe 12 years old software. Let us see, it is detecting the hard disk WD elements. I am saying it to open. It is opening up the hard disk. It is building virtual memory system. And it has given me all the files and folders, including some lost files. Lost files here are not important. Now we shall open a different folder and see whether the is opening or whether the JPG file is opening or not. Yes, it is opening. So that means this software too is also good for data recovery with USB stabilizer from this WD hard disk. Now we will close this software and see it with a third software. RStudio Tech. Let us see RStudio Tech version given by DeepSpar version 9. How does it help to recover data? Now I have got the DeepSpar partition here. I shall click it, right click it, cause a partition search. It found a recognized partition, double clicked it. It is loading or trying to load all the files. Here you are getting read from disk failed. That means these were the errors on the hard disk. Forensically, this software is very good because it is telling us that there was a failed attempt. There was a failed attempt to recover data. Now we shall go into movies and we shall try to open any movie and see whether it plays or not. The sprint is quite bad, so let us go into some other movie which is a DVD rip. DVD rip movies are quite clear. See this movie.
साल की वर्क एक्सपीरियंस के बाद मैं इंडिया में उनका कंस्ट्रक्शन बिजनेस ज्वाइन कर लूँ और मौका कि मैं उनकी किसी सोशलाइट फ्रेंड की सोशलाइट बेटी से शादी कर लूँ.
So this movie is opening another proof that RStudio also helps. Now we have got RStudio 9 certain options too which we can use. Read tries count, we can use 1 2 3 4 5 9 up to 16. Read retries count on bad sectors. Then we have got DeepSpar USB stabilizer, and we have got an option to select whether you want data from a HDD or from a SSD. So this is a HDD, it has auto detected. Now we can optimize the speed of data recovery if the hard disk is good, and from 0 ms I can make it to any ms, but I will prefer 7000 ms because 7000 ms is used by DeepSpar DDI4. So above 7000 ms the hard disk can report UNC errors. So I click OK. Now there is another option. What functions the DeepSpar USB stabilizer can offer? If I click on DeepSpar, it has detected my license number. There is a settings, read timeout 7000, speed optimization, HDD, and I can even see the smart. So I can see the health status is good, power on hours is 2192 hours. That means this hard disk is used for quite some time. The speed is 5200 RPM. Now all these parameters, you can see reallocated sectors count is 140. So it is current count is 200, worst count is 148. So there are problems in this hard disk and the reallocation count is gone to 200. Even spin up time is more, but as for data recovery it does not matter. Even how many times the hard disk was on or off has been counted by RStudio as 739. Now we may also see some other features, especially the start runtime image. Huh? You can make a VMDK image file from DSpar Mozart disk VMDK. Okay, so let's see if there are some other hidden options inside this. One more new option is verify consistency of known files. As you can see on the screen, now I will try to make an image, create an image. Here you can see batch sector processing. Batch sector processing in RStudio 9 has an option enable multipass image creation. It can also go in reverse to image the drive, and it can also take out data if a forward reading is having problems in giving batch sectors. You can even set up a skip size. You can have a maximum skip size. You can have a IO rate, minimum in-out rate, number of retries you can keep, disable imaging phases. This is to be used by people who are expert in imaging. You have to find out the meanings of edge phase, slow areas phase, skipped block phase, trimming phase, and scrapping phase. So you are disabling imaging during these phases. I wanted to show you batch sectors processing, which comes up only when you image a drive. So now we have seen that there are many new things in RStudio 9 combined with USB stabilizer. So all praises for USB stabilizer, and especially a message to those people who found that USB stabilizer was a useless piece of device and they called it kabad in India. I don't know what made them think that this is a useless device, but I think it was out of jealousy and competition that they blamed the drive because they did not know what it can do. So I forgive them because they do not know what knowledge they have for themselves. So now again, let me revise USB stabilizer a bit on settings. Whenever you are on the settings screen, you can just switch off all these settings. Do not do file system mounting, because if there are lot of batch sectors, it may not mount properly. Do not scan a mounted drive if in case you have mounted the drive by clicking this option, because it will put a lot of load on the drive and can collapse the drive. If you want a forensic report, then you should report drive as read only. If you do not want a forensic report, you can check off this option. This is essential, allows CASI pass through so that the drives are easily recognized by various softwares and gives good amount of data. Read timeout, the shorter the read timeout, the more the number of red blocks or blocks which contain bad sectors. Keep an initial read timeout of about 500 to 900 to 1100. If you find that there are a lot of red colored bad sectors, you can increase one digit more. And every drive will show green patterns if you increase the read timeout but decrease the speed of imaging or decrease the speed of the software which you are using. There may not be more resets if you increase the read timeout. The resets can go less, the errors can go less, but the image will take a lot of time. Speed optimization can be aggressive for drives which have less bad sectors or a few bad sectors. It can be standard for a normal case, or if you do not want speed optimization, you can just put it off so there is a lesser load on the drive. Report to write attempts. Whenever you are trying to do a firmware repair, you should have always write, because you are going to write on the drive, you are going to make changes on the drive. So you should allow write only up to when you are doing a firmware repair, and that too when you want to write on the drive. If you want to change a mod, if you want to edit it and make changes, then you should have allow write. If you put it on error, it will be like I am reporting error on a bad sector, but it will see the bad sector. But if you tell stabilizer to ignore the sector if it is bad, or to ignore the sector completely, it will ignore it, so it will take less time for imaging. Imaging time will increase if you tell the drive to do more work. Now bad block read retries. If ever there is a bad block, if you allow it to read, the chances of getting stuck on bad sectors is very high. If you don't read retry sectors, you are just moving ahead. If you click on don't retry block, it will skip the whole block, so there is more amount of data loss. So I click on allow and observe whether the bad blocks are small or large. If there are no bad blocks, I will say allow. If there are some bad blocks with a few bad sectors, I will say don't retry sectors. But if the whole block is bad, then I will say skip the block. Hardware reset. It is always better to keep on hardware reset for less amount of sectors. But if your drive is getting unrecognized, is not mounting, it is always better to repower the drive. But if your drive is very smooth and you want to finish the work, very few sectors are bad, maybe the first and the last sectors are bad, but you want to do an image, so you can do a hardware reset and say none, no reset on any sectors. This way the imaging pattern will be faster. All these options can be clicked on if you want a forensic report. Now let us go to the settings, more settings. More settings always start from USB 2. Select USB 2, wait for some time, and then you will see that the drive becomes recognized in about 15 to 25 seconds and will report idle. But there are certain drives which will have to be kept on auto because you don't know whether it is USB 2, USB 3. Then you will have to switch on USB 3 to try if USB 3 helps you in recognizing the drive. But usually I have found that USB 2 option, selecting it has reported readiness for most of the drives. Some people prefer auto, but somehow I had to revert back to USB 2 on those drives. This is add timestamp to each log line. So whatever logs are being there, every line will have a timestamp. So this is good for forensics. Save logs to project folder. Again forensics. Save data of each write attempt to project files. So you are making a project files, and whenever there is a write attempt, it will log in those areas and report in the logs, thus telling you that this was a write attempt on so and so sector. Again, this is forensics. Repower duration 2000. If you feel that your drive is getting ready after a long time, maybe it takes about 300-400 seconds, you may use this option but not recommended. Now this is the log portion of the drive where you find the logs here. You will find more and more logs if you switch on all of these. So I don't want my screen to get clogged by so much information which may be useless to me. So I have put off all these options and kept these two options. Again, on this window, sometimes you will get to update your stabilizer or reinstall your driver. Please remember, whenever any action has to be done, either update or reinstall or re-update, or the options are on right click here, reinstall USB driver, download latest files from update server, update USB stabilizer, or uninstall USB stabilizer. For any option, you have to go to Windows Restore Point and put it on for C drive which contains Windows system. If you do not put on the restore point, stabilizer will not do the functions of giving you an updated version of stabilizer when you are upgrading or updating the firmware. So remember, restore point should be on as long as you are updating or upgrading your drive. Sector map. This contains an on-off button. This is the window which shows you green means good data, dark green means collected data, light green means this green means data has come. The data is shown in this form. You can repower the drive while imaging, you can reset the drive while imaging, or you can skip a cluster of bad sectors while imaging. These functions of skip may not function when you are taking out data from it. However, reset function does work and repower function does work. This was a little on USB control panel. I hope you have liked my video and you will like and subscribe it and try to reread and reread the video so that you are an expert in USB stabilizer. USB stabilizer is being offered on installments also. There could be 3 installments or 2 installments. There are some preconditions for getting it on installments. The preconditions may be from the company to give you a USB stabilizer only if you give them some form of guarantee like post-dated checks and guarantee from 2 data recovery persons who take the responsibility that if you do not pay, they will pay the installments. Again, the company will not take back or transfer the unit to anybody else. So you can resell USB stabilizer only with the permission of the company, because this is attached with an email address for RStudio, and RStudio is registered in the email address of the person who will buy the stabilizer. Of course, your name, your email address, your company name is also registered when you buy. There are no refunds as stated by the company, so be careful. No PayPal payments are accepted by the company. This is information which the company wants to give to everybody, and I am contributing this information to you. You can take demos of USB stabilizer on your drives. If you send the drives to me, I can attach them for you on my PC and show it to you that this is the inference we have got in a demo form, that this hard disk is working, this hard disk is not working, this hard disk will give data, this hard disk will not give data. So you can take advantage of the demo. Thank you again very much for seeing this video. God bless you all, and make a point to soon make up your mind to buy USB stabilizer. Thank you so much.